is your land.
Come seek an adventure at the old pirates, eh?
Make the jump to light speed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hello and welcome to our Summer Disneyland Update. I'm Amy.
And I'm TC. We've got a bunch of headlines to get through this week, so let's get headed into the parks.
The summer crowds are back and we have the numbers to prove it.
Disney released a report showing that crowd levels are at 90% of what they were in 2019, so keep that in mind as you head to Anaheim this summer.
Rogers the Musical opens in a few days, June 30th. Disney released a new behind-the-scenes look at the musical.
The courtyard, which had become part of the PIM Test Kitchen overflow seating, is getting reconfigured back into queue space for the Hyperion Theater.
Also really big news here is the show only runs until August 31st, so if you want to see it, you gotta make a summer visit.
Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room had its 60th anniversary this past June 23rd. The show is still a big hit with us. We absolutely love it.
Dole Whip on the lanai, followed by a tropical serenade, is always a good time.
Buzz for the new Haunted Mansion movie is growing.
Some of the actors in the film were recently spotted inside Disneyland.
And Disney announced that they would be ghost hosting a panel at the Midsummer Scream Convention.
Also, a fun clip surfaced of Jamie Lee Curtis talking about Freaky Friday with a few park guests when she was hanging out in 21 Royal. Lucky lady.
Coinciding with the release of the new Dial of Destiny film, Indiana Jones is coming back to Disneyland to make live meet and greet appearances.
We can expect to find Dr. Jones hanging out in Adventureland near the Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
No end date has been announced, but you can be sure it's only going to be for a limited time.
Work has continued this past week on the Adventureland Treehouse. We hope to be climbing its branches, maybe early summer even.
The Treehouse is a no-wait walk-through attraction that Disneyland is sorely missing right now.
Over at DCA, we're getting near to the official opening of San Francisco, expected to happen in mid-July.
June 26th, the old Pacific Wharf Bridge closed to get the large uprights and suspension cables installed that will really give this land its main visual weenie and make it feel complete.
Disney shared some more details and concept art to enjoy as we anticipate the opening.
The rethemed land has 2 new dining spots. The Aunt Cass Cafe is decorated with a mural of Mochi, the character of Cass's lucky cat. The menu will be a variety of Japanese dishes and soups in Boudin Bakery bread bowls.
Guests craving an ice-cold drink during Southern California's hot summer days will be able to cool off at Rita's Turbine Blenders. The giant drink dispenser will serve margaritas and other icy beverages.
WindSync is the fictional company providing fictional energy for the area from giant prop turbines that look like fish windsocks. You'll start seeing them pop up above some of the buildings soon.
Disney is also introducing the Hamada Bot Shop, where the Big Hero 6 team creates high-tech equipment. Baymax and Hero will be available for meet and greets outside the shop.
Nick Fury, looking pretty rough and gruff, is showing up at Avengers Campus, most likely to coincide with the release of Secret Invasion on Disney+.
The pilot currently has a 68% score on Rotten Tomatoes, so it was not an earth-shattering opening, more of a secret one.
We sure like his cat, though. More cat scenes, please.
Disney filed a patent for a new character costume modification.
Modified!
The patent shows a series of lenses and reflectors that allow actors to see out of eye holes much higher.
It's really a great idea. Being able to see out of your character's eyes ends up with a much more realistic interaction with handshakes, hugs, and autographs.
Construction in downtown Disney is still going at a fevered pitch. Uva Bar is completely demolished as the new restaurants Paseo and Centrico are built.
And the new West End shopping center and stage is going vertical rapidly as buildings are erected and the whole area begins to take shape.
In some exciting news, we can get a preview of what will be coming to Disneyland as the Water Tower and Tiara have been placed at Walt Disney World for Tiana's Bayou adventure.
It looks pretty great. We are losing the iconic tree on top of the ride, but we do get this really cool tower, which should loom large both for spectators and riders.
And with the backstory having the new hill being called the Southern Salt Dome, a large tree on top doesn't make as much sense.
And at Disneyland, the entire tree is currently covered in scaffolding, and we anticipate its removal.
Let's look at some other current construction projects that you usually don't see happening during the summer. Not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
A store for the front of the facade, which will one day be the entry of a new Avengers Attraction, is still underway.
A little bit of work on the concrete exterior was visible over the walls. Looks like they're punching a hole in the wall for a new doorway.
Just outside Ariels' undersea adventure, the entire block of San Francisco-inspired buildings is wrapped up for refurbishment.
Embarcadero Gifts is still open, and the merchandise cart usually parked outside was moved across the street.
And another one just outside the men's restroom in Adventureland, walls were erected a few weeks ago. The old rock wall and waterfall were demolished after a major waterline break.
Signs are now in place to tell guests to visit the men's room near Rancho de Zocalo, which means this is probably going to take some time to finish. In addition, those restrooms are now very busy, especially around entertainment showtimes.
Construction on the building housing Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is still going on. Peter Pan remains closed, while Toad and Alice reopened earlier. Peter Pan is set to reopen this Thursday, June 29th.
Red Rose Tavern is still open during construction on its facade, which stretches all the way to the restrooms. So all in all, the Fantasyland courtyard is not its usual self at the moment.
Over in New Orleans Square, Tianas' takeover of the French market is starting to take shape. The upper balcony is painted in elegant gold and draped in popcorn lights that we can see, and behind the scrims are glimpses of smokestacks.
And over in Toontown, construction on replacing the artificial turf has continued. It's a bit frustrating that this new iteration of the land has already had so many maintenance issues. Right now, the park in front of Mickey's house that used to house our favorite fountain in the park is behind construction walls.
And Donald's Duck Pond, a tiny little simple splash area, has yet to debut, with actual water and fountains anyways. As the first real heat wave of the year is coming to Anaheim, it would be nice to have it operating.
Looking ahead at attraction closures, there are more than you might expect with summer coming up.
Alice in Wonderland closes July 5th through the 20th, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride closes again July 24th for an undetermined amount of time. We sure hope that this signals the end of the refurbishment work happening to the facades in Fantasyland.
The Disneyland monorail closes July 5th for an undetermined amount of time. Not sure what this is all about, but the ride does need some general maintenance.
Soarin' Around the World closes July 5th through the 14th over at DCA, and that might be a good thing. This last week, a guest reported on TikTok that they were stuck on the top row of the ride for 50 minutes before the ride began working again and lowered them down.
Soarin' isn't a ride that has that issue often, so we are glad it's getting some maintenance.
Toy Story Midway Mania closes July 17th for some maintenance, but we don't know for how long yet.
And get this, folks, Redwood Creek Challenge Trail closes July 31st to start preparations for the Oogie Boogie Bash and its Villains Grove makeover. Are you ready to think about Halloween and fall? We are not.
Nope, not at all. Nothing but summer right now. And that's it for us today, folks.
Thanks for joining us. We're on a few weeks of vacation at the moment, including playing tons of music gigs and a park trip, but we will get back to our regular content soon.
We hope everybody out there is having a great summer. May the light in the firehouse window always shine brightly.
And may your dreams always come true.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.